Hello everyone, I am Lavanya. Today I am going to explain you about the installation process of Snowflake and what is Snowpark and the use cases and the working of the Snowpark. First of all, we have to install Snowflake in our laptops. And in the Google Chrome, I have searched here for the Snowpark installation and I am selecting this first link, sign up for Snowflake. And here we have to, we didn't have our account in a Snowflake. So we have to create our account here. So I'm giving my credentials here. And I'm giving my mail here. Yes. And I'm signing up as a student. And here we have to give our college names. And in this Snowflake edition, we have to select the enterprise. And here in the cloud provider, uh, we can choose the Amazon Web Services. And here in the region, we have to select our region as I'm selecting. Here Singapore. Okay, and then I'm ticking up these conditions and get started. After that, depending upon these, what will you use Snowflake for, and we have to tick off these all marks and then continue. And we have to tick off the languages what we work within the Snowflake. I'm selecting all these languages like Python, SQL, Java, and Scala, and then I'm submitting here. And after that, we will get our activation mail to our Gmail accounts. We have to activate our mail and we have to set our passwords there. And this is the process of installation of the Snowflake. After the installation of the Snowflake, we have to log in with our credentials. So here I have login here. And now we can talk about the Snowflake. So Snowflake. Snowflake is a developer framework by Snowflake that allows us to write code in languages like Java, Scala, and Python directly within the Snowflake. And these are the capabilities by extending by the SQL, which enabling by the data engineers, data scientists, and the developers to perform the complex data transformations and machine learning inside the Snowflake platform. And these snowparks, it provides the data frame APIs to build data pipelines. And this snowpark will run the logic closely within the data. So the Snowflake engine avoids the data movement here. And coming to this Snowflake supports the business logics and user-defined functions, and it use it for store processes. Now, this is the documentation of the Snowpark, which is included in the Snowflake. Now we can see this one by one. Um, Usually, the Snowpark will be used by the data engineers, data science, machine learning, and the application development and the developers experience also. And coming to this document regarding the data engineering, These it builds the complex ETL or ELT pipelines by using Java or Python codes. And we can see here all Python codes. And coming to the ML, it trains the model by using the data in the Snowflake. Um, and in the application development, it integrates the Snowflake with applications that requires the advanced data processing, and it creates a custom stored processes and user defined functions also. And the developers can be familiar by this programming language which we used inside the complex queries in the SQL. And we'll use this snowpark. We'll write the code in Python or Java Scala in the by using the snowpark's APIs. And then the code is sent to the Snowflake, and the Snowflake is executes the logic by using the data engine, and the results are returned to the developer or it will be stored in the tables, etc. So we can see here the process which is occurred in the data engineering step by step. First of all, the initialization of the Snowpark session. And here, before using the Snowpark, you need to create a session that connects to your Snowpark environment. And this session serves as the gateway for executing Snowpark functions and interacting with the data. Here we are going to include the Snowpark by using the snowflake.snowpark dot types as T and functions as F. So we are including these Python packages, and from this we are importing get active sessions. Means we are creating a session in which connects the Snowflake environments to the Snowpark, and we are creating a variable session equals to get active sessions. After that, we are creating the data frames. This Snowpark data frames, which allows the interaction with the data that is stored in the Snowflake by using pandas. Usually, we'll use the numpys and pandas for creating the data frames and data sets, etc. Here, we have in these we have used pandas for creating this data frames. See here, we have created the session, and then basic queries for selection and filtering, and you can retrieve specific columns and filters by using the snowpark data frames. And for get a count of records in the data frame, we will use these print df customer dot count. Means it will count the number of customers which are present inside the data frame. And if we want to display the top 10 records in the data frame, we will use this limit 10 dot show. Means it will show top 10 records here. And if we want to select a subset of the column in the data frame to display, we have to use use this name dot select c name, means variable name, and c nation key. We have set up the limit 10. So it will display the subsets of these two names. And if we want to calculate the conditional when clause column based on account balance, means we will use these query for this. And as samely, if we want to add calculated column by taking the substring of the segment name, we will use this query as a select of dot allies dot show. And for sorting the rows in the data frame, we will use as in sort ASC, means it will sort the data in ascending order within the limit of 10. So basic filtering on a data frame, it will filter the data by according to the range of the data which we have given in the data frame. Here we have given the data which is less than 2000. So it will print the records which are less than the 2000. And Grouping and aggregations also will perform in the snowpark. Here, count. We'll use the count the numbers of the rows in each group. We'll use count. For summing the any kind of amount in each group, we will use aggregation sum. Aggregation of f dot sum. And for as a part of the SQL, here we can use the joins. We can use the multiple joins in the data frames. As here we have used uh, so like this we can save the data frames, etc. And this is some part of the data snowpark data frames which are in the snowpark, which are inside the snowpark. Now we will create a data. And in order to use the snowpark inside the snowflake, we have to, instead of connecting from outside, we can write snowpark code as sorted processes or user defined functions that can run inside the snowflake. So for writing this, I have created a worksheet here. In the left side, I have created the SQL worksheet. After that, I have set the role of the admin as a account admin and data warehouse as a compute WH here. Now the Snowflake executes the business logic close to the data without moving the data out. Uh, here the code which I have written for this as a here I have created a database as a demo DB and have used this database inside this code, and I am using the schema as a public. And here I have created the procedure as a create or replace procedure process bonus, which means this command creates a new sorted procedure that calls as a process bonus sale, etc. And uh, and if a procedure within the same name exists, it replaces it. And here I have written the returns string, which means it specifies the procedure and it will return a string when it executes. And language Python means it indicates the procedure which is written the language in Python. And here I have written the runtime version 3.9 as a it specifies the version of Python uh, that the Snowflake will use to run this procedure. And I have included the packages as a Snowflake, Snowpark, and Python, which means it makes the Snowpark Python library and available inside the procedure. So you can use the Snowpark data frame API here. So and coming to this handler, I have included this handler as main, which specifies the Python function which is named as name will be the entry point of this sorted procedure. And as of that, here I have written as dollar symbols, which means the body of the procedure, which is enclosed with the dollars or delimited delimiters, which means. And inside this, I have written the Python code. And I have written here the function def main of session, which defines the main function that the Snowflake will call when the procedure runs. And then it receives a session object by representing the Snowflake sessions connected to the Snowflake. And here I have written the session dot table employees, which means it loads the Snowflake table named employee into the Snowpark data frame called DF. And this let us work with the data programmatically. And here I have written the sale DF equals to DF dot filter DF of department equal to sales, which means it filters only sales department. Here, reads the data of the employee table. It filters only the department scale. And bonus DF equals to sales dot DF dot select means it added 10% of bonus here. Here we having written salary into 0.10, which means it adds the 10% of the bonus here by calculating of the salary. And then here we have written write dot save, which means it saves a new table and returns the bonus table procedure executely. And it writes the data frame back into the Snowflake. And the sales bonus table, if the sales bonus table exists already, and it will replace it. And this Snowflake fetches the data, and it is a powerful and flexible developer framework in the Snowflake, and that allows the data engineers, data scientists, and the developers to write the data processing logic in the languages like Python, Java, etc. directly inside the Snowflake platform. And it extends the capabilities of the SQL by introducing the data frame styles, by enabling the users to perform the complex transformations, etc. And we will include the machine learning processing for logic logics all without data out of the Snowflake. And now by this the Snowpark simplifies the data workflows and improves the performance and enhances the security. And whether if we are building a data pipelines by implementing AML models or embedded business logics into the stored procedure, this Snowpark empowers the developers to work with Snowflake in a modern, scalable, and language flexible way. And these Snowpark bridges the gap between the data scientist and data warehouse by offering the secure and high performance environment. And there is an end-to-end data processing inside the Snowflake. And here we can see that in the last, the procedure fetches the employee data and it filters. First of all, it fetches the employee data and then it filters the sales department. And after that, it calculates the salary by the bonus of the 10% here. And after that, it saves the result into a new table inside the Snowflake. And after that, it returns the confirmation message as the bonus data proceeded successfully. So this is how the Snowflake works inside how the Snowpack works inside the Snowflake. Thank you.